Hey Red Raiders, what's up? It's Izzy, and in today's video we're here to tell you guys about the pros and the cons of living on and off campus, and is it really worth it living off campus? So if you guys are curious to see what our takes on this are, keep on watching. Okay, so first let me do a little intro and recap about living on and off campus in Texas Tech. On campus, what that means is you are living in the dorms at Texas Tech on campus where all the buildings are. And if you're living off campus, you're probably living in an apartment or a house that it's not inside of campus. So it's on the city of Lubbock. And some of the policies of Texas Tech are, unless there are a few exceptions, every first year student has to live on the dorms unless they're like a transfer student with enough credits, or if your permanent residency is in Lubbock, you don't need to live your first year on campus. But most people do live on campus, including me. My freshman year, I spent it on campus on a traditional dorm, which was Horn and Knapp. My first con of living off campus is that after living on campus in a learning community, you are way more social. So it really does help your social life living on campus. For my first year, that was amazing because most of the friends that I did that are still my friends up to this day, I made when I lived on campus, and most of them lived either in the same building as me or like a 2-minute walk from my building. So that was really nice. I got to hang out with them a lot because we were really close together, and it was a fun experience. It was a very social environment living in the dorms, which is very helpful when you're a freshman because you just got to college. You basically won't know anyone, or you will know a few people, but living on the dorms can really help you expand your social circle and connect with people around you. Another point of a con of living off campus is that you will have to rely on yourself to get food. And what I mean by that is when you live on campus, your dorm will either have a dining hall in the building or you will have a dining hall very close by. I was in a very strategic position with my dorm, so the sub, which is the student union building, was right across the street from me, and there's the sub food court, which was right there, and it had like a bunch of food. It had a Sam's Place, it had an ice cream shop, Chick-fil-A, Pizza Hut, delis, all that kind of stuff. It had a lot of food. I was also very close to the Commons, which is the dining hall at Talkington, which is another dorm. It was like a 2-minute walk. This is not the case living off campus. I cook a lot of my meals now that I live off campus. Don't get me wrong, I love cooking. I truly love cooking. It's one of the things that really de-stress me. So I am really happy cooking. But at the same time, like some days I leave my apartment at like 7:30 because I have an 8 a.m. and I only come back at like 4 p.m, 5 p.m. and I'm extremely tired at that point, and I'll still have to get home and I'll have to cook. I'll have to prepare some sort of food for me because there's not this convenience of having somewhere really close by to eat food. I still have a dining plan because if you guys don't know, for the staff members at Texas Tech and people who live off campus, there's still the commuter dining plan. So I still eat on campus, but I personally eat on campus like once or twice a week, and all the other meals it's on me. Okay, the last con that I would say of living off campus is that you might not be as close to your classes as you were when you lived on campus. So I live pretty close to campus still. I am a 10 to 15 minute walk at most to all of my classes, to all of the places I need to be on campus, which is definitely nice. I get to take the bus there. but it is quite a difference from where I lived on campus, and I was a 5-minute walk to everything. I was at most at a 15-minute walk from the most distant places for me on campus, which was, for example, the rec. And here off campus, I still don't have a car, so I am on the bus schedule, which is from 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. So if I need to go somewhere that's like far away on campus, I'll have to take the bus to get there, which is not bad at all. I'm grateful to have the bus, but it is definitely an added time to your day to get things done, and definitely something that I always have to take into consideration when I schedule an appointment on campus. Now on to the fun part of living off campus. So like I said before, when I lived on campus, I had a traditional dorm. What does a traditional dorm mean? That means I shared a room with another person. So I did not have a room for myself, and I also had a communal bathroom. The way that my dorm was is it had 3 bathrooms, 2 or 3 bathrooms. So I shared that bathroom with the whole floor. And then I share my room with my roommates, so we had like 2 beds, 2 desks, 2 drawers, and 2 closets that we shared. And when I moved off campus, I got to have a room for myself, and I got to have a bathroom for myself with a bathtub, which is really nice. And I really appreciate having my own bathroom, and yeah, it's really nice having a private bathroom for yourself. And something that's even nicer is having a room to myself. I have a lot more freedom in my room because it is my own, so I get to decorate the whole room as I want. I get to open the windows when I want. I can turn off the fan if I don't want the fan. I can turn on the fan if I want the fan. I can keep my room cool if I want. I can keep my room hot if I want. And that's definitely something that I really appreciate. I can watch my TV whenever I want. I can talk on my phone. I can watch videos without headphones, without worrying that I'll bother someone else. So the degree of freedom I have in my own room, it's amazing after sharing a room with a person for a year. It was a good experience for me, but after the end of my freshman year, I knew that I was done. I knew that I really truly wanted a space of my own that I could call my room, that I could be myself in my room without worrying about bothering someone else.
Hey traders, it's Monsi. I would say one of the bigger pros of living off campus is being able to separate school from home. So for example, when you're in high school and middle school, you would commute to school and then commute back to home, and you would kind of separate your school environment from your home environment. And I feel like that's more pronounced when you're living off campus. I feel like if I were to live on campus now, like in a dorm, like I did freshman year, I feel like I wouldn't be able to separate being on campus 24/7 versus living in a dorm, if that makes sense. So I feel like having 2 different locations to go to for school, and then when I have to come home and unwind, definitely makes a big difference. I think if I were to live in a dorm now, I wouldn't be able to imagine just being on campus 24/7. Even though I'm not technically near classes, or I'm not near any buildings and things like that, or actively going to classes back and forth, I still feel like I'm on campus 24/7, whereas when I'm commuting, it's not like I'm near campus all the time. I'm just there for classes, there for meetings, and I'm commuting back home.
Okay, so the second thing, I know I said it was a con, but having your own kitchen and your own living room, it's also amazing. Like I said, I like cooking, I like baking, and at the same time, yes, it is tiring, but everything that has its cons also has its pros. So the pro of having a kitchen is that even though when I'm tired I have to cook, I can make my own meals, and I can use the seasoning that I like, I can use the ingredients that I like, and I can make my own food and having that control is really nice. It's not as convenient as living on campus and eating on campus, but at the same time, I'm eating all the times the food that I love because I am the one preparing them and I make them the way that I want. So that's really nice. And I also like baking and cooking as a de-stressing method. And if you organize yourself, cooking for yourself can definitely be something really nice.
Into my second one, which I'm not really sure is a pro or a con, is the commute. I know for some people they live right by campus and for others they don't live so much near campus, but I think the commute, it depends on if I'm late or not. If I'm late, I wish I did live on campus so that I'd have the leisure to just walk to class in 5 to 10 minutes and just be there. Whereas now, since I'm commuting, I have to go there, I have to park, and sometimes parking might be hard to find, so that takes some time. And then walking to classes also takes a lot of time. So it's about 30 minutes in my timing when it comes to commuting off campus. But that's a con. But I also love the commute because it gives me a break from my day. So let's say I had a long day on campus, I can just get in my car, drive home, and just use that break, that drive as a little break, and listen to music, listen to podcasts and things like that. So that's definitely something I'm on the fence on, but I'm definitely leaning more towards it as a pro because I love driving, and I think the commute back and forth is very peaceful for me. So yeah.
Well guys, that was it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And is it really worth it living off campus? For me it is, but that's a very personal decision that you guys have to make. I know that when you're living on campus, it can be a lot like, I need to get out of here because I want more freedom, which is totally valid. But at the same time, you can be, oh, I want to stay here because it's very convenient, which is also very valid. Just take into consideration all of those things I put up for you guys and think carefully when decided to either stay on or off campus. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!